one sec. Let me just get my get the next map screen up so people can see what we're talking about. So, have I chosen the right
Warriors Path?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So, yeah, I think this is a map of extremes, isn't it? Really, because you've got the pretty open A side with a lot of. It's open, but it's got a lot of cover. If you see what I mean, you can play an open ship over there. You can play a campy ship over there, and there's a lot of cover for destroyers and things to duck into if they need to. B is very difficult to play in my experience because the islands are quite high. You can't lob them very well. So if you're stuck behind one of those islands, all you can do pretty much is radar or crossfire. And then there's Charlie, and Charlie is kind of all or nothing, where you're either behind those big islands or you're out in the open doing stuff. And
the problem in my experience is not getting into Charlie; it's getting out the
out
other
of Charlie.
side.
Absolutely, yeah. And in randoms, of course, you quite often see people pushing through Charlie into the enemy spawn. We probably won't see that in King of the Sea, but it'd be interesting to see what people do after they take Charlie. So, what's the run?
Yeah, pod underscore Nike rather. The only time I have seen a push through Charlie work at this level of play is when pretty much the entire team slammed through it at flank speed and basically stopped for nothing.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see whether. I mean, in King of the Sea, I don't think you'll see any caps being abandoned or left, because in clan battles, quite often you'll see one cap being left unattended by one team. But in King of the Sea, I don't think we'll see that.
Give me a second. I also need to very quickly swap. I've got you on GSR and me on MDV.
So I've got MDV. Is that right? Yep.
You've got GSR.
I've got GSR.
Yes, which I think they just assigned us randomly, and it just didn't quite line up. It's going to be easier to change our mods than it will be to get us switched. So switching that round and applying that. There we go. And grab the sacrificial Orlands.
Are you sure? Because the alpha is the north spawn, and alpha is MDV. Silence.
Right. Okay. I must admit, I've been working with the assumption that green team was friendly and red team was hostile, but I could be wrong. Anyhow, it doesn't really matter.
So hang on, I just need to make sure my overlay's right. So I'm going to be on the.
I may need to check my overlays as well. The joys of technology.
Hey, wait. So I've been put onto the GSR side, right? Sorry, technology.
Yeah.
So I am GSR, and they're going to be on the south spawn.
Yeah, we'll edit this out in the vaults.
So I'm just trying to figure out how to GSR MDV apply. No. How do I make the? I don't know how I set myself as being the south team on this map.
I tend not to pay too much attention to the team colours on the map. I'm more concerned with making sure that they line up in the game. Anyhow, speaking of the game, we are loading and we are good to go. So let's do the switcheroo and yoink. So 2 midways and again double Republique, which surprised me a little.
Yeah, that is an interesting choice, especially against a Montana and a Yamato, which are two of the classics.
I am really surprised that we've seen so many Frenchmen.
It's interesting to think what's changed. Maybe it's the AA, because the AA on the Republic is pretty decent.
Maybe, but the Montana again has all those AA guns. It's got a brutal array of 5-inch and 40mm. So that was the battleship of choice. I mean, Republique's got a lot of good long to mid range as well with the 57mm post wars, but it's a curious one.
We get to ram each other.
Woo! Right, let's see what's going on. So, coming out of MDV, we are looking at what at the moment appears to be an A-B split. So they are completely rejecting C at the moment, which is fairly standard play for this map.
Everyone on the GSR side seems to have spawned on the wrong side, so they're all currently crossing each other. We've got the gearing of Wutafa heading straight for Bravo, and Raberi, the other gearing, going for Alpha. We've got the Henri of Herschultz going towards Charlie, but they seem to be setting up fairly heavily in the middle. The Montana and the Yamato don't seem to be going far away from the mid, so I think they're going to set up between AB and BC.
I wonder then if their plan is to anticipate the usual A-B split, position to deny A or B from the centre, and then slam a flanking force through C on the assumption that nobody will be guarding it. And that assumption's valid at the moment, because there really is nobody from MDV at point C.
So this is a classic example of one of the things with the new meta with the CVs, which is that the Salem of Tigerin has been spotted in the middle of the map, and he took some battleship shots straight out of the bat here. So if you're in a Des Moines or a Salem or a Minotaur, getting into your position is now extremely dangerous because you can be spotted so early.
That said, he got away with scratch.
He did get away with it
for the moment, but he's been spotted again, and we have mutual spot, I think, between the gearings.
Yes, absolutely, they're both spotted.
Max Man turning out, and Wutafa diving for the eye. Battling Wutafa in the cap, and defiladed from the Des Moines of Crocodile, who's actually hiding in the gearing smoke.
Oh, interesting. Okay, we have no idea about that. So, Gearing was focus fired, but he's now gone unspotted. Meanwhile,
they'll work it out fast enough when they start getting rapid fire 8-inch shells coming out.
GSR have decided to deploy heavy on the BC side. They've got a Gearing and a Zhao on the Alpha side, but that's it.
And yeah, there's the push. There's the Henri coming round in. They've got a quick look at it on the air spot. But right now, MDV have got nothing to counter that Henri as it takes C. So, astonishingly, the tar pit is actually going to turn into an easy flank this time.
I wonder if they'll do anything to react to that, or whether they'll just let them take it.
I don't think they can. In fact, I'm not even sure they've seen it, because Nocturnal Screams Midway is in the middle of a turn, but right now he has got nothing between himself and point C. So unless he does a 180 and starts running west, it could well be that... oh, there we go. There's the response. Bombers coming in on Herschultz, but it's not going to be soon enough. There's the cap, so the points are starting to come in, and Nocturnal Screams bombers are looking for a bit of revenge. Are they going to get it?
It's a cross drop. Yep, they get a hit.
They get a hit, they get a fire. And Herschultz is going to have to hang off his damn combat until the airstrike's completely dealt with. Here it comes again. They're looking for the stern drop this time, but... yeah, Herschultz is obliging. He's keeping his turn going. I don't think he's quite realised the risk he's at. Bow drop, there's another fire. That's why he didn't damcon. There's the damcon. Now he's got the second fire burning. Anti-air's chattering away, but I don't think... yep, Nocturnal's got another one, possibly two drops in that squadron. Well, one drop. He's just lost a lot of bombers coming in. Going again. Yeah, there's the drop.
Henri's AA is not really strong enough to cope with soloing like that against a midway. He's definitely going to get all his drops off. It's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be interesting to see now what they do with Herschultz. Whether they're going to push him up north.
And Wutafa managed to sneak the cap of B as well. MDV have got A, but right now A is turning into the tar pit, which is unusual. Raberi's in trouble, however. Diving for the island, turning.
Could he be first blood? I think he may be.
But there's still shells. Nope. Blind fire got Raberi. He didn't quite dodge that last bullet. So there's just the one isolated Zhao with Unit Cool Breeze to the south. But
so he's obviously going to kite away, and they're going to consolidate on B on the GSR side.
Yeah, but those two Henris, Shadow 2115 right now, right on the one line. MDV are now in the enviable position that they have got to get on the attack, and they have got to do it right into the teeth of GSR's cluster south of B. GSR can dig in, they've got the
Absolutely.
cover.
It's exactly what we are seeing. They're just setting up firing positions now. They're setting up.
You see this. Usually, you see this the other way around. It's the team that goes into C that has to make the panic push.
Absolutely.
It's unusual to see it coming off A.
There's a lot of map pinging going on. There's obviously a conversation going on about how they're going to set up this defensive fire here. Gearing, Wutafa gearing is just kind of heading in towards Bravo to get some spotting, I think.
Yeah, and Crocodile's popped his radar, so MDV know perfectly well about that. I am surprised we're not seeing a defensive turn off Wutafa right now, because he's about to clear this island.
He's just decided to abort. Shells coming in.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a big...
And he left that a bit late, probably. Ends up in front of the Des Moines, who is not happy to see him.
Des Moines presumably is going to push him behind the island in the middle of Bravo.
And has found the range. Yeah, Crocodile's pushing in. Musterman's right behind him.
Pushing that Des Moines into Bravo is a key move, I think, because they're going to find it very hard to get him out of there now.
Well, they don't really need to get the Des Moines out again. That's the thing. They've got the scoring jammed at 1 cap point each. They just have to die slowly enough that the rest of the team can get back over from the 2 line.
Oh, no. What I meant was that GSR are going to find it very difficult to dislodge that Des Moines now that he's in there.
Oh, yes. Oh, God, yes. Especially with the gearing backing him up, because that's almost certainly 2 defensive fires in the point and a smoke screen up. So they could try blind dropping torpedoes from long range off the midway, but she's not really built for that. Or they can try pushing the flank, which is what I think they're doing. We're seeing a runs to the south and southwest. But that's going to put them in front of the Henri's, the Republic, and the 2nd Des Moines. So Kelu, I think, is about to get a lot of very unwelcome attention.
So the Hindi of JG300 is, I think, being told to go into Charlie to go round the back. That's certainly what the map looked like.
I see what you mean. He's swinging up. He's going round the side of point B. He's not going all the way into Charlie, but he's using that channel. Problem is, Podnike's sitting there in the Republic, and I think Charlie has just seen it. So
he's now sorted.
That line of approach is not great. There's torpedoes coming into the smoke, but they're blind, and both Mushtaman and Crocodile are well clear of those. As you say, GSR have got to come up with something pretty fast, and it doesn't help that they are 120k down.
Zhao of Cool Breeze coming under a bit of focus by the Henri's and by the Midway.
Yeah, the bombers found him, so that's kind of blown stuff. He has got a fire. I'm not sure if it's permanent.
I think he's going to let that burn.
Torpedoes score no hits, so he's got the 2 Henri's chasing them. Of course, those Henri's have got their engine boosters, so he's not breaking contact. They can just run him into the ground.
Let's have a look at the smokestacks here. Oh, that's interesting.
The
Henri's have stopped.
Shadow's gone reverse.
Yeah.
No, they haven't. Shadow is in reverse. Radamel is forward, but at a gentle amble.
So, and
describe it.
Wutafa is just off to their left there, and he's not sure. He's torping into the smoke that has the Des Moines and the Minotaur in it.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Lieblich Tiger in there taking a significant hit. Torpedoes running out to the Yamato. Okay, GSR have gone for the push, but they're going to take a lot of punishment doing this. Yamato eats 6 and gets under the fire of the Republic in the process. Was that main battery high explosive from the Yamato?
I don't see, but he's down.
Doesn't matter, he's dead.
That was a nice cheek shot there from the Republic.
Yes, that might be why Usflo was not in such a hurry to push forwards into Podnike. So, yeah, GSR's first push, not quite with everything, and they really perhaps should have waited for the Henri and the Zhao to get back and reinforce, but I'm not sure they've got enough muscle to do this. They're down 3 ships, they're down 150,000 health. They need to come up with something, and they need to come up with something in the next 90 seconds, or they're going to lose this one. And I don't see what their options are here, not with pods sitting on the northern flank like that.
I think once Cool Breeze goes down, those 2 Henri's will probably charge forward. Try and get a little bit more focus fire, perhaps on the Montana of Kaliu.
Yeah. If the match even lasts that long.
If it lasts that long, indeed, yeah.
I mean, Herschultz has moved southwest to try to support and block the run on the carrier. That's not GSR's problem at the moment. GSR's problem is the scoreboard. It's not these two Henris. In fact, both the Henris are now either static or backing up. They're in no hurry to push in.
No,
in fact,
that's
they are
what
now both reversing.
that is why they are there.
Yeah, they are quite happy to tie up two enemy cruisers, distract them off the main event, and let the main team just pull the GSR forces at point B apart. In fact, they don't need to do that. They can just keep them suppressed, sit back, and enjoy the next 2.5 minutes.
I'm actually surprised the number of Henris that we're seeing, but when you see them being deployed like this in pairs, it makes total sense, because the amount of HE that you can rain down on something is devastating, because they just set fires.
And if they need to throw radar out from Crocodile, they've caught Vutafa's torpedoes. I think they've got tired of having fish come through every 90 seconds. And Vutafa just realised how much trouble is running. But, well, if the Henris have switched their fire as well, this could get brutal.
Yeah, I think unless he
avert
goes on
your eyes, children. Cruelty to small boats.
And 948 on the board. I don't think that, unless they can get back into Bravo, which I very much doubt.
Podnike burns down simultaneously. 400 points back, 755, and a 1 point control disadvantage. Well,
so the only move they have left is for the Hindenburg and the Montana to push into B. But of course, when they do that, they're going to be open to all sorts of fire from all sorts of directions. There's dive bombers coming in against the Hindenburg.
Yeah, he's got his cat fighters up, but with the Des Moines just over the next hill, that may not last very long.
Ooh, that was a big hit.
The Midway's bombers aren't really going to care too much. I mean, he doesn't need to get all his squadrons in. Kaloy is trying to push in, but he's, as you say, he's going to run into all kinds of crossfire there. Yeah, I think GSR got pretty badly outplayed in the mid-game here. They had an interesting strategy. I mean, early game, it looked like they were going to be the ones to win, but that push from A to B by MDV just absolutely swung it for them.
I still think that push down, the Des Moines pushing down from above B, down behind the island, was the key movement, because that then flipped the cap, and then once he's in there, he's there for good, and he's still there, and they haven't managed to get him out. So I think that was, for me, that was the key move.
Yes, and certainly that was. If that wasn't the point at which it absolutely went for MDV, that was certainly one of the final nails in the coffin. GSR just did not have an answer to that Gearing and Des Moines combo parked in the island, right behind terrain, right behind cover. Couldn't get in with carry because both of those are AA boats if they're spec'd for it. And by the time that MDV's fleet showed up from point A, that was it. GG.
Absolutely, yeah. Like you, I thought that was going to be a bit of a standoff once BC was there, but no, it turned out to be pretty steamrolled